Hi, my name is Nahla Al Tabbaa and I'm here to give you a tour of my studio that is also my home. I'm an artist among many other things. I work in community programming, curating, alchemy, and arts, and the culinary arts as well. So my practice as an artist started from when I was a child. Both my parents are artists, and that really meant that they invested a lot of art methods and methods of play that included art in different ways. Today, as I identify more with my official artist title, I would say that I work very holistically with alchemy, with different materials, with ecology, with people, in both social practice and creating collectives. And I also work a lot with constructs of time. So this could be lunar, this could be based on ecology, and actually most recently I'm working with the cycle of menstruation, for example. I also work in the culinary arts a lot, and I'm finding more and more ways to combine those practices, which, for example, an iteration of that took place between myself and Moza Al-Matrushi when we collaborated on the dinner in the mountains. So there are many methods when it comes to researching work or a project, and I would say mine is really led by intuition. I surrender a lot to a topic, I obsess over it, I immerse myself in it. So whether that requires me to walk, hike across a mountain, collect things, sit with them for a while, surrender to them, communicate with them, that is essentially how I do research. I've had different studio spaces throughout my life. During the UAE itself, in the last 8 years that I've been here, the times where I was working full-time in the arts meant that I did not have a studio space at all. From time to time, I would rent a studio space, so let's say in the form of going to a ceramic studio or learning a certain skill. But that lack of having a space permanently is actually what had me turn to the kitchen for a place of process. So my studio space is everything you see around you in this home. I like to be surrounded by the things that I often work with, a collection of paintings and photographs by my favorite artists, plants that are not just decorative or keeping me company, but are actually objects that I'm studying all the time. I have a few balconies where I work as well, relying on the sun and the shade and the different transitions of time that take place. I then have a dedicated desk simply for my more staunch consultant work as well that requires laptops and spreadsheets and a different kind of methods. And then of course I have my kitchen where I'm practicing this more alchemical, intuitive practice, but then also eating it on my dining table as well. Being stuck is not a great feeling, and I would say one needs to really start with not being too hard on themselves. I need to remind myself of that every day. I did read in a book once that the best way to get unstuck is to immerse yourself in another creative practice, or not even a formal creative practice, but to actually use your hands or your problem-solving skills in other ways. So let's say I'm stuck when it comes to my drawing practice. I'll still make myself a meal in the kitchen and experiment and push my boundaries a little bit. Or I'll find myself collaborating with a fellow artist. And that somehow gets the ball rolling to then become a little bit more unstuck. As a long-term goal, I'm really thinking about this idea that I've been very overwhelmed by trying to balance this life that is very urban, very hectic, very fast-paced. And what I've been trying to do is really align myself with other time zones and other ways of viewing the world. I'm trying to surrender a little bit more. I'm trying to align with nature a little bit more. Part of that requires some sense of relocation, the studying of nature in a way that I haven't had the chance to do before, and really just deepening my connectivity with the antithesis of the way I've been living in the last 8 years.